We are back live on the Queen Amina Show. Welcome, everyone. Please share the broadcast and invite other people to join in the discussion. Send in your questions, send in your comments, send in your encouraging words. Thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel so that way we get to keep going. I love to always be with you guys. Please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. You'll be helping to grow our channel. And also our guest, she's going to give us all her social media handle and you'll be able to connect with her when you are able. All right, let me quickly bring her up. Today we're going to be talking about how you can master your emotions with Angela Nzilani. Let me bring her up. Hello, Angela. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm
It's so
great.
good.
I'm great. How are
It's
you,
so good to
Philomena?
see you again. You were on the show a couple of months ago and not so good discussion, but you are a woman of strength that turns every dark thing into light. So, and I fell in love with
Yes,
you right
yes.
away. And here you are again today with us. Very welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And like you say, I've learned a way of watering my grass
I
to
love that.
preciousness.
I
I
love
have
that.
learned a way of healing myself because I've come to realize that everyone can be a healer and everyone can heal themselves, depending on, of course, how wise you are about all this. So it's a journey that everyone can walk through.
And we're going to be
So,
talking about that
depending
journey.
on,
We're going to be talking about that journey today, how we can help other people learn how to turn their darkness into light instead of allowing it to destroy them.
yes, we are. Yes, we are. We're going to be talking about how to master your emotions because emotions control almost everything we do. Emotions are energy in motion. Energy in motion. So, whatever energy you put in whatever happens to you, is what determines the outcome of your life.
Mm, I love that.
Yeah,
So
and
I
it's the same
afraid.
thing that it's the same thing that I applied in my life. The Initially, before I wasn't in a position to do all this, but I had to train myself on how to walk through the journey of turning my emotions and working
Mm,
on my energies to the right place, to where I want them to go.
that is super important. So before we go into, the main topic of the day, please again, for some of our guests that weren't on the show the last time, could you please introduce yourself again to us, please?
Well, my name is Angela Nzilani. I am a Kenyan woman. I am African, of course. So I am a motivational speaker and transformational life coach, and I'm a healed healer. Before, when I came here, I did not say that I'm a healed healer because it had not maybe resonated very well with me. But when I say that, it feels very good because of the journey I have gone through. I have come to accept that I have been healed, and healing doesn't have to feel okay. Everything doesn't have to feel okay. You just need to be at a place where you accept yourself and you start moving forward. And then I am the CEO of Angelique Achievers. Angelique Achievers is an organization that I formed. I call it my baby of transforming other people's lives, where I give you the tools you need to heal yourself, to work on the journey of self development, personal development, and be able to brand yourself, to bring out yourself there and give the world what you owe them because everyone owes the world something. Everyone has something to share. So, whatever it is that you were created for, I'm able to now walk you through that journey to bring you out, to bring that thing out and do it at your best.
Hmm. Hmm. You said everyone owes the world something. Let's talk about that a little bit. Why do you think so?
Everyone owes the world something. Everyone owes the world something. We all have something to give. And it doesn't matter the number of people that you're going to touch. There is always something that everyone can give somebody. The Bible says in Hebrews, I think 13, can't remember the verse, that we are supposed to share. Share what you have. So it doesn't say that look for something and share. It says that share what you have, because that is the time God is going to be pleased with you. So it tells you that you have something. You have something to share. So you need to find it. You need to get to know, what is this thing that I need to share? What is it that God has given me? What is in my hand that I can give to somebody else? So if the Bible says that share what you have, then the Bible and God knows that you already have something. You know, you already have something that you can share. So everyone owes the world something.
That gives me something to think about now, because a lot of times people would think like, oh, I have nothing to give, I am not important. I had a young lady on my show earlier that she was saying that the words that been spoken to her when she was being bullied at school were like, oh, she's nothing, she's foolish, she's dumb, she don't know anything. So that those words began to register in her head, that she was unable to even think that she's of any benefit to this world. But today, she is writing poetries that are touching lives around the world. One of her her poems were picked up and published with the, I think, International Poetry Digest in New York City, all the way from India. So you are right. Everybody has something to give to the world. So what are some of those things that you think people have within themselves that they can give? I know our topic is how to master emotion. We're going to get into it. I just want to lay a foundation. Go
there's
ahead.
one thing that everyone there's one thing that everyone has been given for free, and that is your story. Everyone has been given a story, because everyone has a heart of their own, and this is something that
Mm.
you've been given for free. It doesn't matter how painful it is, because you should be asking yourself, what am I doing with my pain? What am I doing to, to heal myself and manage to touch somebody else with my pain? And in the other show, I said that everybody has an M in their hands. Mine is very conspicuous. Let me point at the
I
camera
know
nicely.
you said that last time.
Yeah, and it means that everyone has their miracles in their hands. And your miracle is not just for you alone, it's for you to be able to share with other people. So we may be thinking that what we need to share is something so materialistic and something very visible, but everybody has something. Everybody has even a tear. You can even cry, and somebody will see your vulnerability and learn something from you. It doesn't really have to be giving by by even saying words, because there are people who cannot manage to voice out their problems or their stories. So everybody should be able to give out something. Just look around you and see the gifts that God has given you, because they are there. We always have what we need. At the moment, you have what you need. You have the mind you need to create the mindset you deserve, or the mindset you need. You have the right body to create the body that you want. You can't use anything else. You can only use what you have. So we need to just accept ourselves the way we are, the way we've been created, the position we are at, and then God is going to show us a way, and we just need to believe.
Coming from Africa, living in Africa, staying and breathing Africa, me and you know that emotions are not respected. It's just like mom will beat you up and say, if you cry, I will beat you again. you know. So how do you manage that? How do you even figure out if to express even your emotions when you live in a world where they don't think anything is emotional?
You need to decide what you feel. You need to decide um, the outcome of your feelings. what is it that you're feeling, and what is it for? How do you interpret it as a person? And you need to start looking at life. We don't need to look at life, your own life, as a society or as a community. We have to start personalizing ourselves, accepting ourselves, leading ourselves. You are your first leader before you can lead anything else. So being a part of a community and having grown in a community where you're told that if you cry, I will beat you so hard,
Yeah.
or men don't cry. That is a very common word,
Yeah.
statement in Africa. So
Mm-hmm.
you need to defy the society, because sometimes if we don't defy the society, then we are being controlled instead of being in charge, instead of being the ones who are controlling. Remember that we are sum total of what our caregivers put in us and what the society has put in us as we are growing up, and as even when we are adults. So we need to understand that sometimes the society doesn't really have to be right. Actually, most of the time, the society is not right. So you need to come up with your own truth about yourself and walk your own journey, the way you know best, without having to please other people out there, without having to fit in. Because when you fit in, you do not get a chance to stand out. You need to stand out if you want to lead yourself, if you want to achieve. So choose either to stand out or to fit in. Which one is better for you?
When you talk about standing out, what are some of the things that you think would make someone stand out in a society or in a community or even in a home? What are some of the things people can do to stand out?
Everyone has their own uniqueness. So you need to define your own uniqueness. Look at yourself as very different from everyone else. Even
Mhm.
your own fingerprints are very different from anyone else.
Never
And
equal.
it, yeah, even when people are twins, they are never the same. There's always something different about them. Even identical twins, they are always different. So you need
Hmm.
to look at yourself as a unique being. When I talk to my God, when I talk to God, I call myself the daughter of the Most High God. I don't call myself a daughter. When I say a daughter, I feel like we are so many. So yes, we are, but I have to look at myself uniquely, in a
As
unique
unique.
way. So yes, I have to say that I am the daughter of the Most High God. Then that way, I feel that God is looking at me alone, is looking at me as an individual. He's not looking at me as a community or as a person who belongs to so many other places. Yes, we are social beings. Human beings are social beings. We cannot do without each other. That now brings the line of service. It doesn't make us all the same. So we are here as human beings to coexist and to serve each other, not
Mhm.
to receive from each other.
Okay. Now, talk about emotion. Around the world today, there's so much happening. So many things happening. I'll use my country, Nigeria, as an example, where you see this branch of police department called the SARS, beating up, killing children, looting, and, just emotionally and physically abusing people of the country. Do you think such people have any emotions?
Yes, they do. They are applying their emotions in the wrong way.
Mm.
Emotions, everyone feels. Everyone has a feeling. Even those who kill other people, there is a reason, there is an emotion that drives them to kill. There's an emotion that drives a rapist to rape. There is an emotion that drives, all these bad things to happen. So emotions exist in every human being. Now it's up to us to choose. It's up to you to choose which emotion do I want to nurture, because we have to focus on, whatever we focus on will grow. Whatever we focus on will keep on growing, will keep on enlarging. But if we do not focus on the bad, then we start focusing on the good emotions, then we can grow ourselves. I'm going to give you some 3 points to note when you're talking about emotion. And these are my first point is that emotion, like I said before, is energy in motion. First, you need to understand that you need to put this emotion into some kind of energy. If you're that person who always sit down, bending your shoulder, you will, and walking like this, you will not feel good about yourself. But when you walk head high and shoulders up, you feel better. Just if you're watching me, just practice that right now and see what you feel. It's
I'm
it
I'm
feels
sit,
better to
I'm
raise up
sitting
your
tall and
shoulders.
my head up. You're right, though. You're
Yeah,
very right. Yeah.
yeah, and even if you look very keenly, people who are obese are not very, smiley and all that. Well, majority, not all, but majority. And people who are very athletic are most of the time smiling. They are happy. They are moving fast. They are, they're active because of the emotion. The motion. So they are applying their energy into motion. Now, it
Oh,
also
I love that. I'll tell you a funny story before you go on. People see me all the time, on air, and sometimes when I talk to them on video, Zoom calls, and everything. And then they meet me for the first time physically, and they're like, "Oh my God, I thought you were a giant, like you're very tall." So I'm only
that's what I
five
think
foot.
actually.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm only 5'1". I'm not tall. But you see,
Oh,
because I put my emotion in my energy in motion, people look at me as a giant, and I tell myself I am a giant in the spirit. Don't mess around this giant.
mhm.
Please go
That's the
ahead.
spirit. That's the spirit. And for me, I practice it. I'm not very athletic. I've not managed to master my exercise routine and all that very keenly.
I
I
can
try,
help you with
but
that after the show.
consider it a date then.
Yeah.
But when I feel low, I always know that moving will help me. So I do some exercise and I always feel better. Apart
Oh,
from, praying and motivation and, giving yourself affirmations and all this, if you give your body motion, you will feel better, trust me. So
wow.
emotions can be improved by putting ourselves into movement, into action. And then another point that you need to note is, I'll give you 3 points. My second point is that your mind, you are your mind, and your mind sometimes harbors things that we do not need to keep. This is the inner mind, the unconscious mind. We always carry things into ourselves that we keep on telling, we speak negativity into ourselves because we grew up with so much negativity and we are not even aware that this is what is happening. And then this negativity keeps on telling us that, you're not good enough, you're not the best,
Mhm,
you cannot
mhm,
achieve it, you
mhm.
can't move, you can't, you can't. So you need to now start being aware of what you're speaking to yourself. Because many times we say things to ourselves that we cannot even say to our enemies. And it's good to be aware of what you're saying in your mind. What are the thoughts, the inner thoughts that you have about yourself? When you look at yourself in the mirror, do you tell yourself, I'm fat, I have this fat belly, I'm not, I'm not light enough, I'm not dark enough, my eyebrows look bad, such
Some
things.
people do that
And
though.
a lot of people, it's very sad. They are controlled by the unconscious mind instead of being in the conscious, being in the present, and knowing that you can control what you're thinking about yourself. So, what are those things that you're saying to yourself that you need to get rid of? Because you must get rid of these things to start feeling good, about yourself. When you feel good about yourself, you feel good about other things. When you appreciate yourself, other people will come and appreciate you. When you love yourself, other people will love you better. You can only show people how to love you by the way you love yourself. Or even you can show people your standards by the way you apply them out there for yourself. So look at what you're speaking to yourself and be very conscious about the conversations you have with yourself. And one way of managing to start speaking to yourself positively is giving yourself daily affirmations. Speak to yourself. Wake up in the morning and say, yes, I am a winner. Yes, I can do it. Yes, this project is mine and I am the winner. It's meant for me. I am beautiful. Wow, I love my eyes. Don't wait for, if you're a lady, don't wait for a guy to come and start telling you all these good things so that he sweeps you out of your feet and then you find yourself in the wrong place. No, tell yourself these things so that you could feel good about yourself. You owe it to yourself.
Mm.
Don't wait for an outsider, somebody who doesn't really know you to come and start telling you all these things. So we need to start speaking to ourselves very positively and do it consciously, so
So
that
if
we
someone
manage now to. Mhm.
if someone has been poisoned by words for too many times, like too long, how can they begin to unwind? How can they begin to detox those mental poison through words that have been spoken into their lives, and they're beginning to believe it, they're living it? How can they begin to clean that up from their system? Because you cannot just switch off one day and say, hey, today I am going to become a queen. No. Takes a process.
Well, yeah, you're right. And to answer your point, I'm going to mention now the third point, which is focus. What you focus on grows. If you focus on, changing yourself, changing the way you look at yourself, being able to look at yourself, bring out the best in you, and know that there's something good in you, you must now start focusing on you, on yourself. When you focus on yourself, you will grow. When you
Mm,
focus on having a positive mindset, it will start growing. And slowly by slowly, day by day, you will start realizing that, oh, nowadays I don't tell myself this. I tell myself, this different thing. Nowadays I don't put myself down. I'm that person who used to be told, you have a nice hairdo. And I say, oh, really, this one? It was, I just did it in a cheap place. Or you have a nice soap. No, oh, this one is very cheap. I was that person who used to say that. But now, even when I know it's a maybe a $1 shirt, which they exist, I will
that's
say
right.
thank you so much. And when you start appreciating yourself, you always stand out. I am realizing myself that things are changing. Things have started changing. For those who don't know my story, I've gone through, a very hard time. Before I lived, I cohabited with a man for a year who we were in an arrangement like a marriage. And and I got a baby from that marriage. And after I had the baby, I came to realize that this man has been married for 10 years. It was devastating. By the time I came to realize that I had invested everything I had, I can say everything, including everything in my heart and my emotions and everything. I put myself there, head, toes, and soul, and mind, everything. And I came to realize that this guy is married. And then he wasn't even providing all the money that I had saved. I had even saved to buy a house. I put in his business, but it was all a lie. So when I realized that, for me it was really heartbreaking, and I slowly managed to work myself out of this. And what has helped me most is focusing. focusing on my own growth, focusing on myself, my own mind, and telling myself that I am still beautiful. I am beautiful. And I'm not a fool. He used to call me a fool. I'm not a fool. I was just genuinely loving somebody. So you need to start speaking to yourself. Choose what you want, to focus on. What are the emotions that you're focusing on? What are the feelings that you're focusing on? And if it is maybe sadness, you're sad. Yes, sad moments will come. They will always come. Emotions will come because challenges are there. They will always come because we are human. And when this happens, you need to tell yourself that I am still in charge, and then start deciding. Choose to feel good. Choose to feel good, and you can do that even anytime. So yeah, I think I've answered your point.
Thank you so much. So 3 points. First, you said energy in motion means emotion. When you put your energy
Yes.
in the right motion, you feel good. And I agree with
Yeah.
you. You said, give your body motion. Exercise can help emotionally. Um, you are your mind. I love that. You are your mind. Let's talk a little bit about that. These are little things that people take for granted. And they're simple, easy steps to take. You don't need to go and pay money to any super psychic person to begin to help you, emotionally. You can start by yourself if you have no money. I love that. Let's talk a little bit about that. What do you mean you are your mind?
You are your mind because what you think, what you focus on, what you put in your mind is what you become. If today you tell yourself, um, you start writing down things that are happening or are coming into your dreams, into you as dreams. Write them down and start putting up your focus into those things. You will slowly find yourself achieving those things. That is the law of attraction. And
Mhm.
focusing is all about your revelation. See something that when you sit down alone, what is it that you would want to become? If you imagine yourself living your happiest moment or your happiest life, what is it like? What is that like? Then you need to write that down and then you start focusing on. So it starts from your mind, from what you have thought about. If you think that with what I'm going through, I think in the next 5 years I'm going to be, dead or something, you know, or I'm going to really be struggling, you will find yourself struggling. The Bible says that, yeah, I think in Habakkuk, I can't remember, two, I think Habakkuk 2, it
Okay.
says that write down your revelation, write down your revelations, and something, and then it will
Make it
happen at the right
plain.
time.
Yeah. Write down,
Yeah,
write
make it
down your
plain. Yeah,
vision, make it plain, and with time, at this time is gonna come to pass. Yes, absolutely. Wow. Thank you so
yeah,
much,
it will come to
Angela.
pass.
This is powerful. I think it's also connects nicely with power of words. The things that we speak to ourselves, the things that we focus our energy on, the things that we put in our heart. I see marriages being torn apart just because one person constantly keeps saying, oh, if you do this again, I'm going to divorce you. Oh, if you do this again, I'm going to divorce. One day, you're going to get that divorce. Or you keep saying, oh, my child, you are a bad
Yeah,
child. You are a bad child. You are a bad child. One day, you're going to end up with a bad child. So if it takes that little effort to destroy
true.
anything,
Yeah.
why can't I put that same effort to build up something beautiful? That's what you're saying. Power of words. Awesome. You have a program called the Angelique Achievers. How is that program going and what are some of the things you do with them?
Well, after I went through, my heartbreak and I was left. Now I'm single mother of two.
Mhm.
I had to start searching, searching myself. And the best place you can start is talking to God. And God showed me a way, connected me to somebody who took me through personal development. And the way I took it, because we can all fit in one class, but everyone will interpret it differently. So the way I took personal development, for me, it was just an opening for me to start growing myself and healing myself. So now I have mastered the tools that other people can use. I've mastered the tools of healing. I've mastered the tools of, working and personalizing whatever you're going through. All these lessons into whatever you're going through and bringing yourself out. So with Angelique Achievers, have come up with a program, a 6 weeks program that we walk through the journey of self, self. And because when you are, when you don't grow yourself, nothing else makes sense out there. We have to grow ourselves inside out. So start within. Don't start looking for, even a business, whatever kind of a business. It will not flourish to, if you want low standards, it's okay, you can still go for that. But if you want high standards, you need to start working on yourself inside out. Because when the inner man is okay, when the inner man is okay, the world is beautiful. So you need to start understanding yourself better, working on the journey, getting to get yourself at peace with your past. And when we talk about healing, you don't have to have gone through what I went through or a serious heartbreak. Sometimes it's just that unconscious mind that I was talking about. The unconscious mind that somebody somewhere, your neighbor, was fighting with his wife, and you've seen that as a bad example for marriages. So you feel that marriages cannot work because something tells you that it doesn't work because you've seen that example. Or maybe you were raised without a father and you feel that I too cannot, you're telling yourself so many things that are so negative because of the things that you went through.
Mhm.
So healing is for everyone. Healing is not just for the heartbroken. It's for everyone. Life breaks all of us in one way or another. Yeah, so Angelique Achievers is a program, is a company that I work with, which helps people to heal, to find themselves, to forgive, and to learn to live with yourself a better way. And if you're broken, you see yourself turning around, like the opposite side. If you are going to south, you find yourself going north, which, so long as north is the best place for you to follow. So I would welcome you to sign up with my program. I have also a YouTube program channel. It's called Angela Nzilani. Everywhere, social media, I'm Angela Nzilani. Follow me, subscribe to my channel. You'll see much more there.
Awesome. Wycliffe said, "Thanks, Angela. You once helped me with the advice when I needed. God bless you." Thank you so much, Wycliffe, for sending in that. It's very encouraging. A lot of times we do things and nobody says anything. So you think nobody's watching and nobody appreciates you. So that's a big deal for me right there, Wycliffe Simba. Thank you so much for sending that in, encouraging our sister Angela to keep doing what she is doing. We appreciate that comment. Thank you. And also a shout out to Yame too. Production. Thank you for joining us today. I love Jesus Television. Thank you. Tabelo Munyam.
Hello.
God bless you for joining and all the other people joining on Facebook. I can't post your comments through here. Told you guys, move over to YouTube, man. All right. Thank you so much, Angela.
Yeah.
So we can follow you on Instagram, Angela Nzilani. We can subscribe to your YouTube channel, Angela Nzilani, also, correct? So I'm gonna put
Yes.
that.
Yes.
All right. That's her name, Angela Nzilani.
Yes.
So Angela Nzilani is Nzilani. So please, guys, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We need to support, people with mindsets like this. The world is such a horrible place right now. but there's still beautiful things that can still come out. Just like our guest said, that when you focus on anything, that thing begins to grow. So if we focus on people like Angela, teaching positive mindsets, teaching how you can disconnect your bitter past and reconnect with your beautiful future, how you can let go the pains of the past, how you can let go the emotions that doesn't please you from the past and reconnect and focus in the beautiful future in front. We need to support such channels so that she can continue to bring these nuggets for us. Like today, I've learned a lot from you. Energy in motion means emotion. So the E stands for energy and, in motion.
Yes, yes,
So if you put your energy in motion, you put your body in motion, you feel better and it's healthier for you too, and then you said we should
yes, it is.
show, yeah, you said we should show people our standard because that's how those people will start treating you. That is so true. Because if you're a gossip, guess what?
Yes,
Whenever
yes,
there is gossip around the city, they'll look for you first because you are the one that listens to gossip. If you're a thief, if they want to go steal, they'll come to you first. So, who are you and what do you want people to know about you? That is what you put out. Who is the true you from the inside? Once you set that standard, you don't need to fight people off of you. The right people will be attracted to the standard that you set for yourself. And that's how you build your circle, your inner circle, your close friends.
yeah.
That is so true. And then you say, be at peace with your
And
past.
that, and maybe to,
Yeah.
yes,
That's
and
a
maybe
big
to,
one.
to also add onto yeah, to also add on to those 3 points, we also need to, to walk through the journey. There are some other things that we tend to ignore, or maybe we are not even aware how to communicate with our emotions. You need to learn to communicate with your emotions. Identify, identify what your emotions are saying or what they are. Clarify it. If it is if you say I'm happy, are you really happy? Are you joyous, or what are you feeling? If you say I'm sad, there are so many other emotions that surround sadness. So ask yourself, um, ask yourself, am I just sad, or what am I feeling? Am I broken? Am I lonely? Am I, what is it? Identify that feeling. And then you acknowledge that I am feeling this. This is what I am feeling. Acknowledge, feel it. And I always tell people that the first step to healing pain is to feel it. Feel it
Mm.
wholly. Because if you don't feel it, then you're just going to heal portions of it. You need
And he's
to
gonna come back and
identify
haunt
the
you.
whole thing.
He's gonna come back and
Yeah, and
haunt you also because you never felt it. Like people that say, I'm just gonna let it go, I'm just gonna forget it. But really you did not forget it because it's gonna come back. It's gonna really come
yeah,
back. Deal with it. It's best to just deal with it. It hurts, but deal with it. Francesca, thank you so much. Francesca Krenzel. Thank you so much for posting that comment. Just like Francesca, I stumbled into your video too. And I felt so bad after listening to your story initially a couple of months ago. And I reached out to you. That's how we connected and you came on the show. So Francesca is saying the same thing. I accidentally saw Angie telling her story a few months ago. And I was so touched and I followed her on Instagram. May God bless her and use her scars to bless other people too. Thank you so much for that statement. And
amen.
that brings me to saying that whatever we go through, you know how the Bible says all things works together for them that trust in the Lord. Every bad thing or good thing or not so good thing or not so bad thing that happens to you, everything, all things works together for your good. Just like your story had worked together for you now becoming a face on social media. And you are not just a face, you're blessing other people with your story. We saw 2, 3 comments come up like that today. So when we sit down and we don't have peace with the things that happens to us, it becomes very difficult for you to begin to focus on the good. So more of those bad things are going to begin to come. So my question again to us watching and the people that watch this broadcast later is, what do you rather have? Do you rather have more of the bad, or do you rather have more of the good? So if you are able to answer that question, then the rest is piece of cake. It's easy now to know what to focus your attention, your energy, your emotions. You know what to focus on. I guess that's what Angela is saying. First, identify the problem and live through it. I love when you said journey through it. Don't run through it. Don't put it aside. Don't just let it go. Go through the emotion so that way when you see it again, just like Angela, she's smiling through it now. And she's using it to train other people mindset, right?
Yes, yes, yes. And you need to also know that you are able to do it. You are capable of doing it. Acknowledge yourself. You are capable of healing yourself. You are capable of telling yourself, stop feeling this way, grow
Mm-hmm.
up, or, you know, whatever it is that you must tell yourself to be able to work on it. You have all it takes, and you owe it to yourself, because nobody else is going to come and turn your pain into something different. Even those who come to help us, it is just a sugarcoat. You still have to work on yourself inside out, because the sugarcoat will wear out with time. Life will still happen to you. Then how are you going
That's
to
right.
handle it?
That's right. We have a
So you
question
need
from
to work on yourself.
Awesome. We have a question from Wycliffe Simba. He said, "Please, Queen and Angela, I need more advice on my kids' access, please." Okay, so that's a very that's something like I don't understand, like what kind of access are the children with you, are they taken away from you? By no means we are professionals, but we can share with you based on our personal experiences, and possibly it would help you. So if you want to maybe privately send that question in, or you want to post it here, by all means, elaborate more on the question so we're able to help you. All right, Wycliffe, if you're there. Okay,
Yeah,
I
and
will.
maybe to add on that, if it is access on, maybe asking for access to be able to talk to your kids or to be able to meet your children, I think every parent deserves that chance, whether they are, whether we accept this or not, whether we as parents accept this or not. Us as
I
parents
agree.
came together and formed this innocent child. So we need to come to a drawing board. How do I allow you into into the child's life? How can we come up with a consensus where we can work on, and this child accepts, and this child accesses or is able to have a relationship with both of us, even if it means separately. So us as parents need to put our differences aside when we are dealing with children, because we are hurting the children more than we may think by denying them to meet or to have a relationship with their parents, the other partner. So yeah,
I
I think maybe unless it's not that, then maybe you can just
Yeah, I
point
think
it
we need
out, and
more
then we will
more
handle it.
clarification on the question to be able
Clarification.
to talk about it. But like you rightly said, if it's gaining access to your children, then I agree with you that every parent have the right to have access to their children, because they are emotionally torturing those kids, especially if the children are in love with their mother or their father that is being denied access to them. You're not helping that child either. You think you're punishing one side of the family, but you're actually destroying those children emotionally, because they couldn't understand why they would not see the person that they love, especially their mom or their dad. Having said that, you have to also think, again, it's a very thin line to talk about. Because first of all, why were the children taken away? Is it because the woman is more rich and more powerful, or the guy was more rich and more powerful? Is it because he manipulated the children away from you? Is it because of divorce and the court ruled against you seeing the children because you're of danger to them? It could be a reason of, it could be one of many reasons. So until we have a clear picture of what is going on, we will not be able to advise 100%. But generally, one thing I know is to resolve any issue, the first step is you need to humble yourself, whether you're right or you're wrong. Okay, that's the first step. You humble yourself, and through that humility, you apologize. Jesus never said that until you're wrong before you say sorry. No, you apologize. Those two things are so powerful. When you go to people that wrong you and say, I am sorry, they wrong you, but you are the one going there to say, I'm sorry. Okay. And that comes out of a heart of humility. Okay. When you do those two things, then the next thing is keep quiet. Don't talk about it to a third party. You know, some women or men, they're used to talking about their spouse to a third person. Oh, my wife did this. Oh, you won't believe what my wife did today, or you won't believe what my husband did today. We're going out of our topic. It's not a marriage counseling, but we're just tackling a question that came in. Don't talk to a third person about this, except the person is a professional. Because when you start speaking about your spouse to a third person, you don't even know, maybe that person is interested in your spouse. You don't know. All right. So keep quiet. And then the most important thing is go to God in prayer. There's nothing that cannot be won through Christ. Your knees, your prayers, your quiet place with God, wailing, just like Hannah did in the Bible. Hannah wailed for a child, God gave her a child. So go to prayers. If you cannot pray, get people to pray with you or for you. It works. It works. All right. I
And
hope that helps you. But again, your
yeah,
contact with Angela or myself, and we would be able to, give you advice based on our own life experiences. All right. Wycliffe,
and
I
and
hope
uh,
that.
and that's sorry, and that also now takes us back to emotions, because there is a point that I did not mention, which is forgiveness. We need to forgive ourselves and others. You may be going through whatever you're going through, and you have not sat down to forgive yourself. You need to work on your own forgiveness, first forgiving yourself and then forgiving others. When the disciples asked Jesus, how do we pray? He taught them the Lord's Prayer. And in the Lord's Prayer, the only place we are told to do something is to forgive. When you look at, our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, it's praising Him. And then uh, give us our daily bread, that is Him giving us, as we and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive. So it is like we have to forgive to be forgiven. So
That's right.
forgive yourself and forgive others, and then you will start seeing so much peace in your life, so much that you cannot believe it. You cannot believe it that just forgiveness is what you needed to have all that peace.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Angela, for coming on the Queen Amina show today. Before I let you go, I know you've done this before, but I still want you to tell us how people can follow you, and also how they can sign up with the Zoom meeting, Angelique Achievers Zoom meetings that you have. I've joined one before and it was quite impactful and very powerful. So I would really love our audience to connect with you. Please go ahead.
Um, well, my name is Angela Nzilani on all social media handles. That is Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Angela Nzilani. I also have a page, Angelique Achievers, or Angelique Achievers Transformational Training. So that is where you can find me. And we are going to be launching our 6 weeks program in a week's time. So look out for the date. we are going to be having a discount for those who pay in fast. For those who, I'm really excited about this because it is a relaunch. I've done the class before a few times. I'm also offering the one-on-one sessions. If you want to, to meet me one-on-one, we can still do it one-on-one. So you may
Awesome.
not have to, go for the main Zoom class. But in a week's time, we are going to be launching Angelique Achievers Healing Program and the
Yay.
Personal Growth Program.
Awesome. Awesome. Do let me know and I would be part of it also.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Angela. I know it's late in Kenya. May God bless you and have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Thank you so much, Queen Amina. It's wonderful and always nice to talk to you. You're always full of wisdom. Keep it up.
Thank
Keep it
you.
there.
Thank you so much. Take
Yeah.
care. Bye.
Bye bye for now.
All right, guys. Mastering your emotions with Angela Nzilani. What a wonderful topic. Yes, you need to master your emotions because emotions not taken care of can go out of whack and it can destroy you. Emotions can make you do things that you will never do. Emotions can lead into anger that destroys any human being. So the moment you start feeling that negative emotion, you need to arrest it. You need to deal with it ASAP. Yes, you heard me right. You need to deal with that emotions right away before it destroys you. A lot of people have done things that they turn around and regret for the rest of their life. But guess what? You cannot turn back the hands of the clock. You've done it. You've done it. It's gone. It's just like pouring water out of a bucket. There's no way you can put that water back into that bucket. So before you move into doing anything, can you take just 1 minute to think about that thing one more time? You might have a different approach and a different answer to that same situation within the span of 1 minute. It is super important to assess what that emotion is. It is also important to speak to that emotion, speak to yourself about that thing that you are being emotional about. I love the way Angela Nzilani put it. It says, emotion is energy in motion. So if you put your energy towards any negative thing, guess what you're going to see? Your focus begin to be on that negative thing. So you're going to be yielding more results of that focus. Of that negative thing. It's just like waking up in the morning and the first thing you say to yourself is, oh my God, what a day today. You've already sown a seed of what the day is going to go by. So why don't you rather wake up first thing in the morning and affirm to yourself, what a beautiful day. You be precise, you be specific. What a beautiful day this is going to be today. I am going to walk through this day. I'm going to achieve this. I'm going to achieve that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You are excited getting up in the morning. You focus on what you have spoken and you do exactly what you have said into the atmosphere. And you would see results because those are the things you're focused on. Those are the things you just spoke about, rather than being negative and wondering what the hell is today, pardon my French, how is this day gonna go? And then you keep complaining and keep murmuring. Guess what? You are going to get the result of murmuring. You're going to get the result of negativity. You're going to get the result of the things that you don't want to see. On the chat earlier, we spoke about how you can focus your energy on positive things rather than negative, because guess what? It's the same energy that you are focusing on, either something bad or something good. Why don't you rather focus it on something good and get good results so that your life will be better and happier and you would be able to attract more of that happiness and also help other people around you. All right. So thank you guys so much for joining the Queen Amina show today. And we'll see you same time, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Leave a comment before you leave. Don't leave without subscribing and hitting the bell button. So when we upload brand new video, you will be the first to get the notification. Let me quickly take this message. In fact, the lady took the kids to their home since we were working both of us in abroad. So when she left to Kenya, since then I tried to in touch with the children. They don't need to even speak with them. Well, Wycliffe, I can talk to you outside this public broadcast if you want. Please give me a call at 403 on WhatsApp. All right. And we can discuss. I'll see how maybe I can find you some help. By no means I'm a professional, but I might know one or two people that could, help to talk to you and see how we can find a solution. All right. I'm really sorry to hear about that. I'm going to find you on social media and see how we can connect. Okay. This is why we do this show, to see how we can help to bring you information or connect you with things that can help you live a better life. All right. So until tomorrow, everyone, thank you so much for joining the Queen Amina Show. Do have yourself a wonderful rest of your day. But remember, keep smiling, keep loving, and keep watching the Queen Amina Show.